Yeah, I guess so.
It's a little Blair Witch Project there.
I like that. Uh, I'm actually old enough to remember that movie, even though I don't think I've seen it. I just saw the documentary about it. All right.
All
Uh,
fake.
yes. Still plenty of things happening in my life. I am continuing the long overdue cleanup of my home, and I'm pleased with the results, but I still have a ways to go. Uh, this week, I got started on a box labeled receipts, and it was full, and I said it was a daunting task, but it's like, well, I guess I just chip away at it and see how far I get, and I'm almost finished with it, even though I've been working on it for 3 days. So it's like, yay! Uh, and most of it is junk. That I will admit, because most of the receipts are at least 10 years old. But it's like looking at a time capsule, because I'm looking at businesses that are no longer with us, like Blockbuster Video, Rainbow Foods, Northwest Airlines, the Metrodome, Borders Books, and it's like, yeah, I should have went through this a lot earlier, is all I'm thinking of. But I know why I didn't, because there was always something more fun to do, like go perform, or futile attempts in internet dating. And I found another Subway Sub Club stamp, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was possible. But I found two since I started this cleanup, so now I have 5 on the card for a defunct loyalty program. And going through receipts is also a reminder of living in suburban Chicago. I am now able to prove that, yes, I bought a Star Wars poster on 9/11. I always spoke about that. It's like, well, I don't feel like staying to watch the news all day. Kind of like dealing with this virus pandemic. I don't want to stay inside all day. So that's why I've been out taking long walks as well. And I guess we'll make that in the next subject. I'm still amazed at what I see while I'm out walking. When I was out today, I went past dumpsters in my neighborhood, and I mean, some of it I'm used to seeing, like furniture being thrown next to dumpsters if they can't put them in. But today I saw pots and pans as well, and it's like, yeah, I have heard that before. You learn a lot about society, about what they throw out, and it's like, oh, they couldn't recycle that metal or something like that. They're just too lazy, I guess so. And I know that I got kind of excited about seeing a vending machine and a laundromat that didn't have one for a while. So I made it my Twitter posting for the week. I only post once a week, Sunday night. My friends know that about me. And it was about finding TGI Fridays potato skins. I don't know, whatever floats your boat on that one. I know that's a weird thing to be excited about, but it's like, well, I need to post something, and I mean, it would just be boring to say, I'm still doing cleanup. Test scoring, that's still happening. I guess it will to the end of the month, and that joke writes itself on some of the things I have to deal with. The non-scorables are still the most memorable ones, what some of the students do. Like one of them, he just posted or pasted the same paragraph over and over. And of course, I have to rate that insufficient. And then at the end, it said, do not look at my screen. And then there was a tic-tac-toe board. Like, wow, if you put that much effort into doing a non-scorable, you could have actually written a good paper, considering how much time I'm told that they're given to do that. The moderator is still trying too hard on jokes, because I actually typed in my response to one of them, and it's like, oh, I heard that joke back in grade school. It was the one about what nationality you are in the bathroom and out of the bathroom. I also heard that when I was at dinner theater after I had finished college, when I was living in West Des Moines, Iowa. They also did a joke about Russian hands and Roman fingers. It's like, oh, got to put the innuendo in there, don't they? And then something about an outhouse. Yeah, I actually have been in some of those. I'm not proud of that, but just like with porta potties, you have no choice but to use them at times. And I'm trying to learn whatever I can with the prompts that are on test scoring. Like one of them this week was about geniuses, and uh, they got to Margaret Hamilton. I found out no, not the witch from Wizard of Oz. There's another one. I guess she helped with the computerization of the Apollo space project. And I know that happens all the time where famous people have almost the same name. My fellow comics try to do that bad joke about confusing Jerry Lewis with Jerry Lee Lewis. And of course, that's happened before with James Dean and Jimmy Dean, or more than one James Brown, Jim Brown. There's so many different examples of that. That's why they have stage names, so they don't get confused with each other. Oh, and since it's Memorial Day, I'm still unfortunately reminded of a time that I once got into an online debate with somebody about Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And this happens a lot where somebody who has more education than you wants to prove they're smarter than you. In his case, he claimed to be a college professor. And he said that you only honor dead military personnel on Memorial Day. Yes, that's the origin of it, the Civil War. I majored in history. He said you only honor veterans on Veterans Day. And I said we honor veterans living or dead on both holidays, and it's not about origins, it's what people do now. And of course, some people just think of it as start of summer, fire up the barbecue, day off from work. So with some people, the meaning is lost. It's all about interpretation with people. And then we just got bogged down in semantics, and then he tried to make a bad joke about semantics being a fruit. And it's like, yeah, that seems to be my Achilles heel, unfortunately, is trying to reason with people that can't be reasoned with. Now, I just say thanks for the warning and leave. Well, I guess that's a good one to end on. Thank you. You've all been great. And I'll probably have to follow up with that one about Blair Witch Project. That's a good one.
Yay!